What are your earliest memories of being interested in music and recording and equipment?
I think I was probably more interested in the recording than I was in the music. I remember my parents giving me an HMV wind-up gramophone when I was about 10, I suppose. My pocket money didn't allow me to buy any records, so I had to rely on my mother's collection of violin records, which I didn't find very interesting. Later on, my father used to bring me records back because he was the secretary of the London Philharmonic Orchestra, and he used to bring me records back. But I didn't find those very interesting either. It was only, I suppose, when I was about 12, 13 that my pocket money allowed me to actually go out and buy the kind of music that I liked, which was really light orchestral. And this wind-up gramophone was the love of my life, absolute love of my life. I amassed quite a collection of records, pocket money allowing. It was only a 78 RPM machine. And I remember buying my first 45 when 45 singles came out. And the gramophone had a sort of brake system to get the speed to 78. And I modified the brake system so it would go down to 45. But then those gramophones had very heavy sort of pickup arms, tone arms. The whole thing was acoustic. So I got the speed down to 45 RPM and then put the needle down on the record, and it promptly ground the record up into bits. So I then discovered that I needed a much lighter pressure. So I got a pin, and I did a sort of zigzag so there'd be some give in it, and then bent it. It wasn't at 90 degrees, it was about 45 degrees on the groove, and that played quite well.
So it was at a very early age that you began taking equipment apart and finding out how things worked.
Yes, I think at that time it was more necessity, because I desperately wanted to play these new 45 RPM records. And my first record was a Blue Tango, I think by Ray Martin. In fact, I played that so much I had to go and buy another copy.
And then at one point you, again at an early age, you started your own record shop, didn't you?
Yes, it wasn't actually my record shop initially. My father had a collection of heart attacks, which meant he had to give up his job at the LPO. And so my parents decided to start a sub-post office in Shepherd's Bush in London. And so the post office counter was at the back of the shop, and in the front was a wool shop. And my mother used to go, and every Saturday morning she'd go to the East End to buy her stocks of wool and knitting needles, and twin sets were very popular then. And they sold quite well. And then the idea came to me that she didn't actually use all the shop, because it's quite a big shop. There was quite a lot of space in the front of the shop, and so I suggested to my parents that it might be an idea to sell gramophone records. So on the Friday night after school, I'd go up again to the East End and buy boxes and boxes of 78s, hump them back on the tube, and then take them into the shop on Saturday. And I would serve behind the counter on Saturday morning, Saturday afternoon. And I found I was quite good at picking records. And so the record counter in the shop did very well indeed.